Charles Joshua Chaplin occupies a unique place in the annals of 19th century art, blending romantic sensibility with the refined elegance of academic painting. Born in Andelys, France, on June 8, 1825, Chaplin's life and career encapsulate the shifting cultural and artistic currents of his time. This first part of his biography explores the influences that shaped his artistic foundation, his early career, and the techniques and themes that defined his signature style. Chaplin was born to an English father, John Chaplin, and a French mother, Marguerite Victorine Noirel, providing him with a multicultural background that would influence his worldview and aesthetic sensibilities. His upbringing in a household steeped in both English and French traditions fostered a sensitivity to cultural nuances, which later found expression in his art. The rural beauty of Les Andelys likely sparked his appreciation for nature's delicacy, an inspiration evident in his landscape studies and portraits. Chaplin's early interest in art was nurtured in Paris, where his family relocated when he was a child. The burgeoning art capital offered him exposure to both the grandeur of neoclassicism and the emotional intensity of romanticism. At the age of 17, Chaplin enrolled in the prestigious École de Beaux-Arts, where he trained under Michel Martin Drolling, a prominent academic painter known for his historical and genre scenes. Drolling's rigorous attention to detail and emphasis on the human figure greatly influenced Chaplin's technical skills and aesthetic orientation. Chaplin began his career during a transformative era in French art. The Romantic movement, spearheaded by figures like Eugène Delacroix, had left an indelible mark on the artistic landscape, while the Realists, led by Gustave Courbet, were pushing against idealization in favor of truthful depictions of contemporary life. Chaplin, however, charted a middle path, blending the emotive appeal of Romanticism with the polished finesse of academic tradition. His early works focused on landscapes, genre scenes, and still lifes, reflecting a keen eye for detail and a soft, luminous quality in his technique. Chaplin exhibited regularly at the Salon de Paris, debuting in 1845 with a series of landscape studies. These initial works revealed his mastery of light and texture, qualities that would become hallmarks of his style. By the 1850s, Chaplin had shifted his focus to portraiture and allegorical themes, drawing inspiration from the Rococo revival that gained popularity under Napoleon III's Second Empire. This era witnessed a renewed appreciation for the ornate elegance of 18th century French art, epitomized by painters such as François Boucher and Jean-Honoré Fragonard. Chaplin embraced this aesthetic, adopting a light, pastel palette and fluid brushstrokes to evoke a sense of grace and intimacy. Chaplin's enduring legacy lies in his portraits of women, which became his signature genre and earned him critical acclaim. Depicting aristocratic ladies, actresses, and allegorical figures, his paintings celebrated femininity with a refined sensuality that was both alluring and respectful. His ability to capture the subtleties of expression and the interplay of light on delicate features set his work apart from his contemporaries. The Second Empire's social dynamics greatly influenced Chaplin's career trajectory. The Parisian elite, eager to assert their status through the arts, sought portraitists who could immortalize their image with sophistication. Chaplin's studio became a hub for fashionable women of the era, cementing his reputation as a master of female portraiture. His sitters ranged from the bourgeoisie to members of the imperial court, reflecting the social aspirations and artistic tastes of the period. In addition to his commissioned portraits, Chaplin produced a series of idealized female figures, blending allegory and portraiture in a style reminiscent of Rococo masters. Works such as Reverie and The Whisper typify this approach, featuring ethereal young women in dreamlike settings, their soft gazes and intricate costumes exuding a sense of timeless charm. These paintings, while idealized, retained a lifelike quality that attested to Chaplin's skill as a draftsman. Chaplin's technical mastery was grounded in his rigorous academic training. He employed a meticulous layering process, building up glazes to achieve a soft, luminous effect. His palette, dominated by pastel tones, enhanced the dreamlike quality of his compositions, while his use of chiaroscuro added depth and dimension to his figures. A hallmark of Chaplin's art is his ability to render textures with precision. whether capturing the sheen of satin, the delicacy of lace, or the softness of skin. His attention to detail elevated his portraits beyond mere likenesses. This commitment to craftsmanship reflects his alignment with the academic tradition, which valued technical excellence and adherence to classical standards. Chaplin's aesthetic philosophy centered on the harmonious union of beauty and emotion. He rejected the stark realism of Courbet and the Impressionists, favoring an idealized vision that celebrated life's poetic qualities. For Chaplin, art was a means of elevating the spirit, offering viewers an escape into a world of grace and refinement. Chaplin's work garnered widespread acclaim during his lifetime, earning him medals at the Paris Salon and the prestigious Legion of Honor in 1881. His popularity among patrons and critics alike attested to his ability to balance commercial appeal with artistic integrity. However, his success was not without challenges. As modern art movements gained traction in the late 19th century, Chaplin faced criticism from advocates of avant-garde styles, who dismissed his work as overly decorative and conventional. Despite these critiques, Chaplin remained steadfast in his artistic vision. He continued to explore new themes and techniques, experimenting with pastel and watercolor in addition to oil painting. His versatility as an artist extended to printmaking and decorative arts, including designs for porcelain and furniture, reflecting the era's growing emphasis on the integration of art into everyday life. By the mid-19th century, Chaplin had firmly established himself as one of France's preeminent portraitists. His ability to synthesize the elegance of Rococo, the precision of academic tradition, and the emotive appeal of Romanticism set his work apart in a rapidly evolving art world. His portraits of women, characterized by their grace and luminosity, remain celebrated as quintessential expressions of 19th century femininity. This foundational period of Chaplin's life and career reveals an artist deeply attuned to the aesthetic and cultural currents of his time. His dedication to beauty, technical mastery, and emotional resonance ensured his place in the pantheon of 19th century French art. As Charles Joshua Chaplin entered the later decades of his career, his artistic output and influence continued to evolve, solidifying his legacy as a painter of grace and refinement. While his early years were defined by technical mastery and a focus on portraiture, his later work expanded into decorative arts, broader allegorical themes, and teaching, reflecting both the demands of the time and his personal artistic aspirations. The latter half of the 19th century saw a growing interest in the synthesis of fine art and decorative design, spurred by movements like the arts and crafts in England and the revitalization of decorative traditions in France. Chaplin embraced this trend, lending his talent to a range of artistic mediums. He collaborated with artisans to create designs for porcelain, tapestries, and furniture, infusing these works with his signature Rococo-inspired elegance.